Today's call is going to be ridiculous. Ridiculous, people. As you know, this is a Ben Kinney Company's production, and if you need to get a hold of me, what I want you guys to do is I want you to be on Twitter a little bit today, and I want you to throw some hellos out to @BenKinney. And while you're there, I want you to send some hellos to our guests, and I'll get their Twitter addresses in a second. And if you want to put hashtag Brivity in there, put hashtag Brivity, and we'll follow what you guys have to say about today's call. Because I'm telling you, today is going to be awesome. One of the best calls we've ever done. Now, hey, we have a special announcement. Coming live and in person to Seattle, June 12th, we have RE8 Expo. RE8 Expo. If you guys want to come to it, it's a full-day class, and we're going to do a crazy event that night. People from all over the nation, as far as Toronto and Florida, are coming into RE8 Expo. Come in a day early. Come see what our team is going on. You guys got to come. If you want to come to RE8 Expo in Seattle, email nickcameron@me.com or go to re8expo.com. We have two very good-looking individuals on the call today. They make me depressed. This punk kid comes live from Austin, Texas. He's barely 17 years old and did $1.5 million in commission last year. Are you kidding me? Tim, are you on the call?
What's up, Ben? I'm here.
How old are you, Tim?
26.
26. And you did how much in commission last year?
$1.5 million.
$1.5 million. Didn't you just graduate college?
About 5 years ago.
About 5 years ago. That's ridiculous. What are you going to do for commission this year?
We're going to do somewhere between $2.5 million and $3 million.
Somebody just asked on the call, are you single, Tim?
Man, I am not. I'm a married man.
With an awesome, awesome wife. Awesome wife. Sorry, ladies. This one is taken a day late, dollar short, so to speak. All right, Tim, are you ready for today's call?
I'm ready. Do it.
Okay. Now, coming all the way from New Jersey, not the scary parts of New Jersey. I'm talking about the sexiest places in New Jersey. One of the most amazing women in real estate, one of Inman's News' most influential, one of the top agents in America, in the world, does over $100 million in production. Let's give a big, warm welcome to Miss Sue Adler. Can you hear me?
Hey, Ben. Wow, you had a lot of 5-hour energy today.
I love it. I love it. Today is going to be awesome. You guys have never seen two powerful people like this before. I'm telling you, Tim, brand new out of college, makes a business. Sue packs up, moves to another city, and makes $100 million a year business. People, if you're on this call, you better be typing into the chat box and letting us know what you're thinking. We don't want no silent audiences around there. And by the way, if you're on this call and you're in a conference room or in a classroom, I want you to type in how many people are in the room with you. I want to know if you guys are having a little party with us. Oh, we got lots of people. 10, 2, 5, what? 20? You guys are ridiculous. Hey, as you guys know, these calls are always brought to you by some sponsors. And this one is a product that I've been sponsoring for 1.5 years because I got almost $500,000 built into the development of this tool. And this tool is going to change your world. It's called Brivity, not Brevity, Brivity, B-R-I-V-I-T-Y. Now, Brivity is a search portal where buyers can go and search for properties. But that's not what it's made for. It's made to make your life easier. On Brivity, when you log in as an agent, you'll see a list of every single task that needs to get completed and what property it needs to get completed for, and who in your organization needs to do it and what date it's due. I log in every day and I see if my staff have any overdue tasks. If I see what they have to get done today, and then I see what they've got done today. The ridiculous thing about Brivity is every time you complete one of those tasks, it gets rolled up into a weekly email or a daily email that gets sent to your clients that says, hey, congratulations, here's the 17 things that Sue Adler did to get your home sold today. And by the way, here's a link to see what else we're doing. And when they click on this link from the email that we sent them, they get their own customized page, either a page for the seller or a page for the buyer for his pending. And they get this customized page that shows them everything that you've done to get their property sold. It's time, and Sue Adler and I will talk about this when we get to hear it direct. Consumers want transparency. Consumers want to know, what are we doing for the fees that we charge, and Brivity solves that. It solves the #1 complaint in real estate, which is real estate agents do not communicate. On this page that's made for the seller, they see a timeline, everything that we've done. They see the advertising page, a list of all the different places you've advertised the property, not just a list to Trulia.com or Zillow or one of those places. When they click on it, they go to their listing on that page. Are you kidding me? They get a list of all the tasks that have been completed, all the showing feedback, open house feedback, agent showings, buyers, any notes on the property, the photographs. They get a marketing page. They can share their property to their friends on Facebook or Twitter, all those things. And you get these amazing tools built into it, which are your marketing tools. With one click, you can add Facebook to your fan page. One click, you can tweet the property. You can put it on Pinterest into a special board, on Google+, Craigslist, or Active Rain, and you get to see how many people have clicked on those property ads in one tool. Are you kidding me? You also get to manage all your people, your database, and I created a plan that you guys all get called the Sphere and Gear. And what this is, it shows you how to work your database. Brivity will rock your world. I'm telling you, you're going to cancel your virtual tour software. You're going to cancel your showing feedback. You're going to get rid of that cream of the crap CRM that has more buttons than a financial calculator. And you're going to throw it in the trash because you don't need it. You're going to get rid of your marketing tools, your Craigslist posting tools. It's all going to be done here. What? Sue, are you using Brivity?
I sure am, Ben. Yeah, it's great. And one thing that you didn't say, because I was concerned with everyone seeing everything, you can add privacy settings so that your clients don't see certain things as well.
Yeah, like you added them to the spam email campaign or the spam mailing thing that we send
like
out.
That. Exactly.
What? Sue, do you use Brivity in your listing presentations?
I do, because everybody always wants to know how they're going to get the feedback, if they're going to get feedback, because their last agent never gave them feedback. So it's always a concern if you do a lot of expireds.
Yeah, for sure, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Tim, is your team using Brivity?
Absolutely. You know, you can tell, the cool thing about Brivity is that you can tell it was built by a real estate agent who runs a mega team, because the way it's laid out, it's got your coming soon's tab, your active tab, your pending tab, separated by buyers and sellers. It's just so different than any CRM that we've ever used. It's the way that we think already. It's the way we would have laid out a spreadsheet, only it works in the form of a CRM. It's awesome.
You know, Tim's actually in my office today. He's watching our team, and Tim got to see how our listing manager and our pending manager manage the business. If you have one listing, Brivity will make your life easier, and it'll help you get more. If you have 1,000 listings, it'll change your world, because I have one amazing listing person that manages about 700 to 800 listings a year, and I have one pending manager that manages 1,000 pendings a year, and all they use is Brivity. Are you kidding me? And for 40 bucks, you cheap butts, 40 bucks, quit getting coffee. It'll pay for itself for the next 70 years if you sell one home. Quit being cheap. If you want to get a demo of Brivity, we've already sent you the link on the chat, but if you do, by the way, you'll get my listing presentation, my listing scripts, our lead conversion scripts. I'm giving away more stuff than a as seen on TV commercial. Call Brivity. Number's on the line right now. We're going to tweet it out to you in the chat box. 855-427-4848. All right. We got to keep rocking. We got a lot of stuff to get through. Hey, this call is also brought to you by Relaunch. God bless them. Relaunch creates seller sites. Now, seller sites is what Tim Heil and Sue Adler use to show their sellers that they're the person to hire. It's like an online resume. It'll rock your world. Do not send your sellers to the buyer site because it won't do the job. There's a place for the buyer site. And, you know, for all you people, this is Tim Heil's picture, and he's a sexy beast. He's a machine. Here's his seller site. You guys should check it out. Tim Heil, what's the address for your seller site?
It's ultimatesellingexperience.com.
Awesome, awesome. And my staff will send that out to you. Now, Sue Adler has a seller site as well. I want to talk about valuation sites. Now, notice on Sue Adler's site, she has lots of videos. Watch the videos on Tim's site and Sue's, and we'll send you out the links for those as well. Brivity, or Real Launch also creates valuation sites, and we have a huge announcement coming about valuation sites in 2 weeks that everybody that has a valuation site will get this upgrade. But here's Sue Adler's valuation site. It's awesome. Sue averages 10 to 15 seller leads a day from this. And then here's Sue Adler's. No, I'm getting my stuff mixed up. This is
That's
Tim's.
not me.
Previous one was Sue's. This is Tim's from Austin, Texas. And Tim's getting a ton of leads from his valuation site as well. Wouldn't you say that, Tim?
Yeah, we're getting about 50 a month to come just from our direct mail we send out, plus another, probably 100 or more just from the internet coming over.
Wow, boom. You guys need more listings? If you're on the call, type in if you need more listings. Hello? Are you guys there? You need some more stinking listings. Get a valuation site. They're cheap. All right. Here's mine. You can always check out mine and go to submitmyhome.com, submitmyhome.com. And the only other thing that we're doing, we have this upgraded back end. You see the old version right now that shows you all the leads that you're getting. And I get 10 to 20 seller leads a day from it. The new upgraded back end in 2 weeks is going to blow your mind. You guys are going to just self-destruct. Now, the only other product that Real Launch makes that you guys should think about is a city guide, and this is Tim's city guide, livewestlakehills.com. And you can check out one of mine at liveeverett.com, and my people will send that out to you. City guides will change the way you do things, but we're going to let them tell you about what they do. If you guys want any of these things, call Brian at 360-255-1544 or visit Real Launch. We'll send you out that information, so I don't need to keep talking about this. 0 to a million. What I want to talk about, guys, is how do we get to $1 majillion in business from scratch? And the way we do that is we copy masters. And now I want to talk to you guys about the Sue Adler story. Now, Sue, where'd you start real estate at?
In Philadelphia. I grew up in the business. So I've been in the business since I was 15 years old, basically, before I had my license, because my parents had a real estate company.
But something happened. Was that about 8 years ago?
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Something happened about 8 years. You had to move, right?
No. It's about 15 years later.
Okay.
So I moved. I was selling real estate for about 15 years in Philadelphia, and then I moved to New Jersey. I got remarried, and I realized
about 8 years ago.
No. 2005. So it's been 10 years. 9 years.
Okay. About 9 years ago. Okay. So you move to a brand new state because you fall in love. This guy takes you away where you've always done business, and now you're in New Jersey, and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to build a business. And Sue, how much volume did you do last year?
109.8 million.
Okay, and then what was that in commission?
Team GCI was 2.6 something.
$2.6 million. Now, do you mind saying about what you think you netted?
1.65-ish.
$1.65 million you put in your pocket after paying all your expenses, staff, and team members. What? That's crazy. What markets do you service? Because anybody that's on the call, if they have a referral in New Jersey, they're going to send it to you, because if not, I'll freaking hack their internet. So I'll crash their computers. I'll delete them from the internet, period. What markets do you service?
So Short Hill, Summit, Chatham, Madison, Maplewood, New Jersey, Westfield, any of the train line towns about half hour to 45 minutes outside of New York.
So like if you work in Manhattan, nobody really lives in Manhattan. Everybody trains in from somewhere decent, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the first really good
things.
school districts off of the train line into Manhattan in New Jersey, on the New Jersey side. Philadelphia, and then I moved to New Jersey. I got remarried. And I realized
about 8 years ago.
No, 2005. So it's been 10 years. 9 years.
Okay, about 9 years ago. Okay, so you move to a brand new state because you fall in love. This guy takes you away where you've always done business, and now you're in New Jersey, and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to build a business. And
Mhm.
Sue, how much volume did you do last year?
109.8 million.
Okay, and then what was that in commission?
Team GCI was 2.6 something.
$2.6 million. Now, do you mind saying about what you think you netted?
1.65-ish.
$1.65 million you put in your pocket after paying all your expenses, staff, and team members. What? That's crazy. What markets do you service? Because anybody that's on the call, if they have a referral in New Jersey, they're going to send it to you. Because if not, I'll freaking hack their internet. So I'll crash their computers. I'll delete them from the internet. Period. What markets do you service?
So Short Hill, Summit, Chatham, Madison, Maplewood, New Jersey, Westfield, any of the train line towns about half hour to 45 minutes outside of New York.
So like if you work in Manhattan, nobody really lives in Manhattan. Everybody trains in from somewhere decent, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're the
so
first
any of those
really good
things.
school districts off of the train line into Manhattan in New Jersey, on the New Jersey side.
So we have somebody that said, let me know if the new hubby doesn't work out. Both of my guests today are getting propositioned by my amazing audience. They love this. This is hilarious. Sue, one of the most beautiful and amazing people in real estate, tell us your story. You moved to a brand new city, and how'd you get started?
Well, I mean, in 2005, it was very easy because nobody up here had a website. Everything in my market sells in bidding wars. So I was really the first. I built a website without even having sold my first house here. So, and I got all the other agents to allow me to put their listings on my site. And then, so from that, I would get buyers, and then I would start marketing for listings for my buyers, and that's how I would start getting the listings. And then I contacted relocation companies so that I could really get a lot of the relocation business. And I did community videos of all of my towns and made sure all the relocation companies sent them to their transferees. And just really, it's just one thing led to another with it. And sooner or later, it just like 75% of our buyer business is relocation, so because we really started strong with relocation, and that's how I built my website also to attract the relocation.
So when the market got tough, you still did a good business. I mean, you're still doing 80 to 120 million a year, right?
Yeah, when the market was tough, we were more like I would say 60 to 70 million in that range. Yeah.
I mean that's only like 1.8 million in commission.
Well, we didn't. This was the first year we ever broke 100 million. So this is our first year doing that.
Good for you. So, you know what I liked about, because I visited Sue's team and hung out with Sue and her husband, and people know you in your community. I mean, you're all around. When I went into a sandwich shop in New Jersey, what did I see on the board there, Sue?
Well, they took it down, but it was the SueAdler.com. I had my own sandwich.
That's hilarious.
The other realtors didn't like it, so they had to take it down.
But it was brilliant. I mean, I love the way that you do things, because you're one of the most customer service oriented people that I know, and you're not that busy. I know you're not that busy because every time I look online, you're in Australia or somewhere else in the world, but you do a massive amount of business, and you do that because you have a team, right? So tell us about your team.
Okay, well, I'm very strategic with my vacations, first of all, so I'm not away all the time. I'm only away when I'm the listing agent on my team, so I am only away when we're not listing, like around Labor Day and
of course,
so
Sue. I think the myth is, Sue, is that people think that when you do a lot of business, you're too busy.
Right.
But you're not,
well,
because you have the
that's
right
true.
people doing the job, right?
Exactly. Well, if you are a team of specialists, you're just focused on your one thing. So I am not busy running around buyers. I'm busy with listing and selling my homes, selling my listings. I've got a lead buyer specialist who runs the buyer agent team. I've got an admin. I've got two admins, transaction manager. Actually, we're up to 4 admin. I can't keep track because we keep hiring now. So and 2 ISAs.
And I've met your buyer's agents, and I've met your managers and staff. They're awesome. I mean, they're just as awesome or awesomer than you at their job.
They're better, way better than I am at my.
Yeah,
they're amazing at their jobs.
I mean, that's the thing with this myth. And in 2 weeks, you guys are gonna have to be on that call too, because it's called Team Up or Shut Up. Team Up or Shut Up, because I believe that it's the future. And Sue, you're doing that. You're doing that before other people are doing it. So let's talk about some of the things that you do. How do you work your sphere?
Well, I mean, a lot of it is on Facebook because I have everybody categorized into lists on Facebook. So that's the easy thing. That's the touching every day type of thing. Then we have client parties. We've got the pie giveaways. We we do mailings, and we actually just had a big mailing mess up. Just so you, it was we ended up we had this we were sending out send out cards, happy home anniversary, and our neighbor across the street that we sold a house to got cards years 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all in one day. So don't do that.
That's funny. Well, at least they know you're
Yeah.
thinking about them.
Yeah, exactly, right. So no, but how do we work the spirit? So I would like to be in touch with them more than I am, but we do get a lot of repeat business. So I guess I'm doing a good job, but not a great job. I could do better on it.
So, but you do things like client parties. Tell me
Yes.
about that.
So we host it either at a restaurant or lately I've been having it at my house. And we have it catered, and it's kind of like a newcomers club because the people who tend to come tend to be the people who moved here that year and they want to meet other people. So they
Hmm.
make friends at the party. So it's kind of like my own little newcomers club
Well,
party. But
you know what I like about your sphere, Sue, is that when you work your sphere, like as soon as somebody's doing a transaction or buying a home with you, you make them your sphere and you introduce them to your rest of your sphere. Like I move into
yes.
New Jersey and I come into
Mhm.
town and all of a sudden I have friends. How do you do that?
Well, a lot of my clients become friends with each other, so that
Hmm.
is very true. Yeah.
I saw a
I make
Facebook post
introductions
that you
through
did.
Facebook. I
Yeah.
do that all the time through Facebook. We also do welcome to the neighborhood parties for all of our clients, for if they want them. We don't do it for all of our clients, but if they want them, we do. And we invite all the neighbors. I invite my clients who I think that they'd be friends with. I arrange little dinner parties, things like that. So, yeah.
What is the Facebook post that you did?
Which one are you talking about?
Well, what does it actually say when you welcome somebody to the town?
Well, it could be from their. It could be a picture taken from closing or from the welcome to the neighborhood party, just saying, "Hey, everybody in Short Hills, meet so and so. They just moved here with their 2-year-old or whatever. Um, Feel free to message them or just welcome them. And then everybody gets on and welcomes them. Or it can be just a pic. We've done if at the welcome to the neighborhood party is a great place to do it because then everybody gets on. You can kind of see the whole community in there because you're
That's
tagging everybody
awesome.
in the community. So
Are you doing any print advertising?
um, we're doing we're doing mailings if that's what
Hmm.
you mean.
Do you do any print magazine marketing at all?
No, I haven't. No, not at all.
So this is a cool question. The reason I ask this is because you list high-end properties as well, right? From
Mhm.
1
Yep.
million to I don't know what's the most expensive property you list.
I have one for 7.9 that I'm putting on next week.
Yeah, so $8 million, and you see these agents around the nation. They think that they need to go put an ad in the Alaska Airlines magazine, and they got to go spend a ton of money. But you and I know that that doesn't sell houses. So how
Nope.
do you have that conversation with your clients?
If they ask me if I do print advertising, I say no. It doesn't work. I mean,
So repeat that script. You say what?
I just say no. It doesn't work.
No, everybody. Say no. Say no to print. But you do mail marketing. Let's
I do
talk
mail
about that
marketing
because you use the
for
home
listings.
valuation. You use the home valuation site. How are you
Mhm.
driving leads to the home valuation site?
Well, we did a mailer to the entire all of our towns, to pretty much everybody in all the towns. Do you remember? I don't remember how many click-throughs we had during that, but it was
I
insane
I know
for a
that
few
you
days.
sent an email to your sphere, Sue, and
Mhm.
the very first day you had 138 people request a home valuation off
Right.
an
That was
email.
that was through an email. That was an email. Right. Exactly.
And
Um,
then the letters you've been sending out, I think that must be why you're getting 10 to 15 seller
yeah,
leads a
we're
day.
getting, and plus we do some Facebook advertising for the home valuation as well. Um, but that's getting a little too saturated, so we're not getting as much of a response on that anymore in the Facebook.
Hmm.
But no, but email blasting those out, it's been pretty powerful. Plus, I mean, you want it on your website. You want to pull it into your main website too, and just have that page, have it, have any home valuation on whatever your site is going to that as well. If you have a different site, so that's what we did because I have a custom site. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's,
I get it. I get it. Now, Sue, number 4, buyer leads. Now, people are asking, how do you start from zero when you have no past clients? And you started from zero by getting buyer leads in your market. Is
Mhm.
that true?
Right. We were very buyer heavy in the beginning, and after Here at Direct, when I started seeing, I mean, all the forced registration, when we saw the shift in around 2007, where the people started giving the fake information and with the forced registration, I realized I needed to do something more to attract buyers instead of capture buyers, and that's when we really shift our entire focus over to seller leads. And we don't spend a cent now on buyer leads because the buyers will come if you have the listing. So all of our marketing is towards listings, and then the buyers pick up the phone and call you.
So in the beginning, because you're a master, where were you getting your traffic to generate your buyer leads?
I had other people let me use their listings for my website. So there was no IDX in my area back then. So it's a little, I mean, it was pretty ancient back then, you know.
Yeah, so for the last five years, where you've been getting buyer leads before you stopped doing
it? Boomtown,
which
we did
they
Google
get it through
AdWords.
pay-per-click, yeah.
Yeah, we did all of that.
Craigslist?
Trulia, Zillow, just all the basics of Craigslist, all the basic stuff that everybody did, but it became oversaturated.
You do pretty well in the search engines as well when somebody Googles Short Hill real estate, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I would hope so.
All right. So luxury listing marketing, what are you doing to get luxury listings sold?
Well, the thing about the luxury listings is it's about the lifestyle. So you really want to showcase the lifestyle in your marketing. You want to showcase the community. Nobody will buy a house without first being sold in the community. What is it like to live there? So you want to, I mean, obviously with luxury listing marketing, you want to use professional photography, show the floor plan surveys, but really, really the community and the lifestyle is just such an important part of that.
For sure. Are they expecting a different level of service?
Yes, I mean they expect you to accompany the agents through other agents through their house and show the house. We started doing.
Do you do that, or do you have one of your staff do that?
It depends on the listing, and it depends if it's a reshow. Sometimes I'll do it if it's either me, my sales manager, or Peter, my husband. So one of the three of us will. But it depends on the level of luxury as well. You know, our market is a higher end market, so I'm going to say in our market.
I mean, my luxury here, Sue, is actually 10 feet wider.
Yeah, right.
if you know what I'm saying. If it's got wheels, I can move it.
Well, here we're talking the 2 million plus range would be a company. You know, anything under that would be on Lockbox. But I forgot what I was going to say.
So you do neighborhood videos. And I think what that does is that does a good way of showing that not only are you an expert of the area, but also you can just showcase the type of stuff that you do. And I watched some of your videos, and here's one of your websites. Is this SueAdler.com?
Yep.
Yeah, and you have the neighborhood videos on there, correct?
I do. If you click on any of those towns, or if you scroll down, you can't do that because of your picture, but if you scroll down, you can see the community videos. And also, if you're on any of the listings, you're going to see the community video for the community where the listing is right next to the listing as well on that page. So they're all through the site. They're also on YouTube and everywhere else.
I got it. I get it. So, did you pay somebody to do these videos? We
did, yeah.
Was it expensive?
It was not, because I got lucky. If I went back to the same people now, they're really expensive because he graduated from college, but I caught him when he was a college student.
So you got a college student to make the videos for you.
Yes,
That's
and
awesome.
They look very professional.
Yeah. Our team, we just hired a full-time videographer. That's all he's going to do is make videos for us.
That's great.
And we're excited about that. Now,
I think it's a great idea.
So you've all these things, you lead people back to one of your sites, your valuation site, your seller site, your IDX, and so on. But aside from marketing, your team also does some prospecting via mail or by phone calls. Are you calling expires or mailing expireds?
Yes, we have an expired campaign. My ISA, one of my ISAs calls all the expireds early in the morning. And we have follow-ups in terms of mailings and phone calls, and she's got her whole campaign for expireds. And we go way back with expireds as well. So we're converting a lot of the old ones, especially some of the expireds or withdrawns where they rented them for a few years. We're getting a lot of those now.
Are you guys calling FSBOs?
we don't have that many FISBOs in our area, but if we have them, we call them.
And now, are you guys using Mojo to call?
Yes, they're using Mojo.
Okay. I think anybody with any brains is using Mojo for their prospecting because they don't want to spend 2 hours calling 20 people when on Mojo you can get through 400 people in an hour or 2 hours. If you guys hear that on the call, go to mojosells.com. I'm not affiliated with them, but they're freaking awesome.
And also they can record the calls, so that it's really great for accountability and also for training with your ISAs.
Your ISAs, they're inside sales agents. Inside sales agents. Are you doing any circle prospecting with Mojo, or,
Yes.
or just?
Yes,
okay.
we are.
So you're just calling through whole neighborhoods and seeing if they have a home they want to sell?
Yep, exactly. And we're also calling every time we list a property or sell a property. They're calling around those neighborhoods as well.
And I think Mojo scrubs the list for do not calls and you know, can put in your expires and physicals and so on. Are you doing any door knocking?
No.
No. It's probably
not around here. We don't. No, this is not the right area for door knocking.
All right. What
although
about
we
builders?
although when we are delivering the invitations for our client party, for our welcome to the neighborhood parties, we go around and we hand deliver those. So you can call that.
So I buy a home in a neighborhood, Short Hills, and then you guys will hand deliver invites to the surrounding homes around that home?
Yep, to come meet your new neighbors. We're having a pizza party Sunday from 5 to 7. Come on over.
Awesome.
We don't talk real estate when we do that, but they know we're hosting it for them. And
Yeah.
they're like, wow, my agent didn't do that for me.
So you've done really well in real estate, and you're a student. I always see you at training. You go to more training than you know, the most agents, because you and I are both learning based, and Tim is too.
Sure.
You went out and you made an aha about the market, and you realized that training was all about helping agents do things. But what did you figure out that was missing? What did agents really need to learn about?
Well, okay, so you're bringing Hero Direct on the screen.
Yeah.
Consumer insight. And one of the things that I found, we are a very agent-driven business and not a consumer-driven business. And everything really needs to start with the consumer. So I started something called Hero Direct, which are consumer panel conferences, and we put actual buyers and sellers on the stage, and Ben has moderated our seller panel at one of our conferences. Especially the Gen Y panel we've learned so much from. We want to learn, you know, just with the internet today, and why are we not getting this listing? You know, don't we all want to know why we didn't get a listing? How are the buyers searching? Are we spending our marketing dollars wisely, or are we throwing away money on things that they're not clicking on? Why are they not registering? You know, what is the reaction when they see forced registration? We've interviewed probably about 200 consumers now. Only one that we interviewed got her agent through forced registration. The rest of them had like this allergic reaction to forced registration when you brought it up to them. And we forced our industry to go to Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, that kind of thing. So I developed a course called Unfiltered to basically go through. It's consumer insight training for the real estate industry, and it's really a model to create a business that's going to bring you referral business forever. It's about service. It's about creating the great consumer experience. And
so I've been to 2 of your conferences. I've flown to California and Dallas to see this. And well, actually, I've seen it also in New York, because I saw.
We just put it on for Gary Keller last week or 2 weeks ago in Austin.
It was a cool experience for me to sit in the audience, and I know Tim was at your one in Austin. To sit in the audience, and Tim, if you're on the call right now, what did you learn here at Direct Austin?
Well, the number one thing we learned, actually we learned a couple of things. One thing we learned is that, like you said, Ben, communication is the biggest problem that real estate agents have. Communicating, whether it's during the listing process or during the buyer process, the buyers, we think we're communicating, but we're really not. What they're perceiving from us is totally different than what we're actually doing for them. So, like for example, one of the questions was, you know, what is your perception of what the agent that worked with you actually made on the deal? And all of their answers were just completely crazy. You know, they had no idea what the agent actually took home at the end of the day. You know,
what
there
you're
were all
saying
kinds
is
of things like that.
The consumers think that we get home from selling a property and we take the
make
entire
10,000
6% commission, and then we stick it in our bed and we climb into our bed naked, and then we just rub $100 bills around our body like a naughty New Jersey, New York governor kind of thing, right? And they just rub these things on their body. That's what they think? Is that what you're saying?
That's basically what they think, honestly. I mean, uh, yeah, I mean that's pretty much what they're thinking. So there were all kinds of things that we learned. We also learned that even though people are searching online, the number one place, I mean, it was almost unanimous that they would all go back and or that they all worked with somebody that they were either referred to or knew, or if they had a chance to go back again, they would work with somebody they were referred to or knew. So it just made us realize how important repeat and referral business is, how important it is to really work your database.
You know what I thought was funny, Sue, was I watched one of your videos. I love watching the Hear It Direct stuff. And I saw that you guys asked a person what they thought of the banner ads on the side of Truly and Zillow. Do you remember what they said on that video?
You're wasting your money.
That they didn't see it.
Yeah, that they didn't see it. It was invisible. And then they asked, well, so why do you think they have them there? And he's like, I don't know, but they're wasting their money. So.
Yeah. I mean, we spend money on things because we end up, I mean, unfortunately, we have expendable income in this industry. So when we have extra money, we go spend it on something that's stupid. And then we get stuck in a contract for $2,300 a month, and the company will not let you out of it. Isn't that right, Tim?
Experiencing it over here. We were just talking about that earlier. That's exactly
Experiencing it right now, buddy, that they will not let you out of that.
I had that situation
thing.
once years ago, Ben. You remember that on Facebook with
Yeah, so you had it with a company that starts with the letter towards the end of the alphabet. Tim's going through it with a company that's not quite as far to the end of the alphabet, but he is having that problem. That's interesting. So Hear It Direct is coming all around the nation, and people can ask it to come to their market if they can get, let's say, 200 to 300 people. Is that kind of your benchmark?
Well, I know we don't. They can bring it. Right now, we're having like associations, companies bring us in to do a Hear It Direct for them. So we've been doing it. Like we just did one for Keller Williams at KWRI. We're doing a lot of the California associations right now. We're doing Retso coming up.
Yeah.
We're doing
so
Human Connect.
Retso's in Atlanta, right?
Exactly. Yes.
And it's
That's
June,
coming up next. Second, third, something like that. It's early June.
I think you guys should go to Retso. They have an amazing lineup this year. It's RETSO, I think, .com. If not, Google Retso. Brad Nix is a cool guy, and it's a cool conference. Yeah. And you guys will get to see a taste of Hear It Direct. They can go to hearitdirect.com and ask questions and see what's going on there. So I'm going to come back to you in a minute. But, Tim, let's hear the Tim Heil story. You're a punk kid. You're in Texas. Born and raised on the playground is where you spent most of your days chilling out back. You know what I'm saying? And you graduated with a degree in what?
Finance.
And why didn't you go get a job? You should have been an accountant or a CFO, making $40K, living the life, high-fiving in Austin. What happened?
Well, that's what I wanted to do, and the financial market sort of collapsed around the time I was graduating college, and I was a B student across the board, so it was a little challenging getting a real job. So I went with my backup plan, got my real estate license, and jumped into KW to start learning.
Hey, if you guys are still in the call, type some things into the chat box. I can't hear you. Hello? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We have almost 3,000 people registered for this webinar. Throw some chat out, because Tim's about ready to tell you how many homes did he sell in his first year. Tim, how many homes did he sell?
17.
17? You suck. You suck at real estate. 17? My grandma sells 17 before she gets out of bed, you punk. How'd you do that? How'd you sell 17 your first year?
Well, just picked up the phone, started cold calling, started calling expireds for sale by owners, anybody I could get my hands on. The market was, at the time, we were expiring 30, 40 expireds a day, not quite like it is today. So there was a lot of opportunity there, and just started building my pipeline year one.
Okay, and so year two, what happened to your business?
So year two, I was doing just all the same things. The only difference is I wasn't really responding to sign calls or anything like that, so I wasn't really paying attention to buyer leads. I was just really focused on listings and got to 65 sales. I think 55 of them were listing sales.
So, wow. So you rocked it the next year. You increased your business by 3 times. And then year 3, how many home sales did you do?
We did 200 sales last year.
200 sales?
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped a year. We did 135 sales the third year.
See, he's a finance major. That's why he didn't get a job in finance. The dude can't even count.
Can't
1, 2, 4 is what he did right there. Hello? Hello, Joe? That's for you. Hello? Hey, so you did 134 transactions, and then last year, how many did you do?
200 sales last year.
200 sales, and how much did you make?
$1.5 million net, a little over 600.
Well done. Well done. Good job. Okay. Now, Tim, how'd you do that? I mean,
well,
I know that you. Let's go to this next screen. No, not the Photoshop picture of you. The screen after that. We were talking yesterday about how you did that. Let's go all the way to the beginning and talk about filling your pipeline and what you looked for every day. And Sue, if you're on the call, listen. I know you're on the call, Sue, because you never hang up on me. Listen to what Tim has to say here, because we take this home to our team members and to the agents in your offices, and you guys on the call take this to heart. Go ahead, Tim.
All right. So basically, year one, I started making the calls. I went through Bold, and roughly was doing 20 contacts a day. Eventually, got it up to closer to 30 new conversations a day. These were new two-way conversations with people I'd never spoken with before that had identified themselves as a seller lead. Usually, they were an expired or a for sale by owner. And at first, I was monitoring my productivity every day by conversations, and then what I realized was really what I needed to do was move my pipeline forward, build it bigger every single day. So I started monitoring it by, I knew I'd run the math, I'd run the numbers. If you reread the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the economic model, I realized being a numbers guy, success in our business is basically a math formula. So if you can figure out, if you can go and understand the economic model, and plug in your own numbers, your own conversion ratios, you can understand exactly what you have to accomplish on a daily basis to get whatever level of success you want to have. And then you have to realize that nothing happens instantly. It's a long-term game. And I realized that almost right away. And so I was able to just focus on adding 5 new nurtures to my pipeline every day. So Ben,
Nurture? You sound like we're cuddling, Tim.
I know. Well,
nice,
that's what we were doing last night. But
yeah. I called Big Spoon. Tim, tell me about the nurture.
So the nurtures is something I just made up for myself, basically saying that everybody always was throwing out the term lead, and lead means so many different things to so many different people. So what I started calling a nurture is somebody that I would speak to that told me that they were interested in selling their home and actually requested to be followed up with, or told me it would be okay if I followed up with them in the future, whether it was 2 months or 2 weeks or 6 months, as long as it was within less than a year, I was putting them in my pipeline and calling it a new nurture. So I'd already had a conversation with them. I got their best contact information, and they know I'm going to follow up. So now I've got a new nurture. So every day, as long as I could get 5 new nurtures added to my pipeline, I knew that I was moving it forward enough to hit the level of success I needed to hit. And then what happened was, over time, the first year, it was only 17 sales. The next year, it jumped up to 65 and then 135. I wasn't doing anything different. Year 1 versus year 3, I was still the sole lead generator on the team, the sole prospector on the team, doing 5 nurtures a day, 5 nurtures a day, 5 nurtures a day. And then what happened is, 5 nurtures a day is, you're getting 1,000 new nurtures a year. After 3 years, you've got 3,000 new nurtures. So just from making those phone calls, I've got, roughly 3,000 people in my pipeline after 3 years that said, yeah, I do want to sell, and I would be interested in talking to a new agent. Give me a call at a certain period of time in the future. So all of a sudden, it blew up my business.
And you were calling canceled expireds, FSBOs, because you didn't have any money, right? So you didn't have any leads.
Right. So I did. The one thing I spent money on was I went to the Hallmark store and bought a big stack of note cards, stationary note cards, and went and bought a bunch of stamps at the post office. And every time I would get a nurture, I would write them a quick note. It said, Ben, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate your time. I look forward to talking with you in the future about your home, Tim. And I'd put a little business card in there on a magnet. and I just bought 1,000 magnets, and one Saturday morning I just slapped my business card on them while I was watching TV, and that's what I would do. So every day I'd roughly send out about 5 nurtures or five handwritten notes with my card on it, and add them to my top producer is what I was using at the time. So I'd add them in there, and I'd set a follow-up call for whenever they told me to follow up, and that was it. I mean, that was our sole lead generation for 3 years, and I was doing it all. I was just doing it in the morning and building the pipeline.
So walk me through your day. You get
So,
to the office when?
Yeah, so when I first started, I actually got to the office a lot earlier than I do now. I would get to the office at like 6 a.m. because I had to do everything. My first year, I didn't have any assistants or anything, so I would get to the office around 6 a.m. and I would spend the first hour basically getting into MLS and creating my list myself. I wasn't using Arch Telecom or RedX or any of that stuff because, well, A, because it costs money, but B, and more importantly, was that they were leaving out some numbers, and I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to make sure I had every single number. So I would go in, I'd pull the active listings. Every week or so, I'd update my spreadsheet of active listings, and then every single day, I'd match the phone numbers from the active listings in my spreadsheet with whoever expired that day. And then I would create my spreadsheet of who I was going to call, and then about 7 to 8 o'clock, I'd be, on the phone role playing and just kind of getting geared up because I was new to cold calling, so I had never really done it before. I needed time to get geared up and get excited about it. 8 o'clock to usually 10:30 or 11, I was getting those 5 nurtures. So the thing is,
so in 2.5 hours, you call enough people that you would turn 5 people into a warm nurture that over time they would consider listing their property.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, I wouldn't get confused with what lead generation truly is, because a lot of people call lead generation so many different things. And so for me, what I knew is adding 5 new nurtures to my pipeline, 5 new sellers. That was what it was all about. That was the generation of the new lead that I needed. It wasn't making phone calls or sending out notes or whatever. That all those things are lead generation, but for me, it was all about getting those 5 new nurtures. So that was the one thing I had to do every day. So I got to the point where I would track days worked, and my goal was to work 250 days. But if I didn't get my 5 new nurtures, I wouldn't track it as a day worked. And so that was my deal. That was my way of knowing if I accomplished what I needed to accomplish that day. Because in real estate, things get crazy, and you end up going home at night feeling like you were busy all day and yet you got nothing done. And I had that feeling all too often, so I needed to know that if I got my 5 new nurtures, I could go home, and even as unproductive as I might have felt throughout the day, if I was just responding to emails and voicemails all day long, I still knew that I did what I needed to do before the day got going to move my business to the next level. And doing that day after day after day after day, it's like compound interest. Eventually it blows up your business.
Did you ever use Top Producer?
Yeah, I used Top Producer for the first couple of years.
And then you got rid of it, that cream of the crap product, and then now your team uses Brivity, right?
Right. So Brivity is a whole new deal. The things that the things I've never seen any CRM do, is the way it connects you with your client. It's unbelievable how your client, without you doing any extra work, your client knows exactly what's going on. Because really what we were doing is we were putting our listings in Top Producer, and then we were putting action plans and setting them, and that was it. And so we would still have to send our clients emails of all the things we were doing, call them, let them know all the things we were doing. Now, as we're checking them off, as we're checking off tasks for our own organization, the client's immediately being notified of everything that we did. Photos were scheduled. Stager will be at property. Sign lock boxes coming out there. Here, listing was put on Zillow, or listing was put on Trulia, and here's the link to it. All that stuff is just automated.
So you got rid of Top Producer. Now you're using Brivity. It's making your life easier. Whose listing presentation do you use?
We use yours, Ben. So we use the Ben Kinney listing presentation. I used to use the PowerPoint until I had it memorized. I used the PowerPoint just to keep myself going along the way because I couldn't remember it all. And once I had it memorized, I started going in and it seemed a little bit elementary to be using the PowerPoint over and over again for some of these people. So I just started drawing it on paper. I would draw the graphs and the charts and the percentages and showing people where buyers come from and what we do to capture those sources. and as I'm drawing it on paper, you can see their eyes light up and just how blown away they are, following almost exactly the scripts that you use in the recordings you've sent to us. And yeah, I mean it's unbelievable. I was even when I meet with builders when I'm working on getting a builder account or anybody who has a mass amount of listings, we're sitting there and we're giving them the exact same listing presentation, showing them what we do versus what they do, and they're just absolutely blown away.
Yeah, I mean, it actually works. I'm not like high-fiving myself to say that
Well, you
Tim
should.
is my listing presentation, but it works.
Works.
Yeah. So we're going to do, Emily's going to do live demos of Brivity today. If you guys want to be on a demo later today, just type in what time works in your email address into the chat box, and Emily will schedule it for you. Tim, you use circle prospecting, and what I want you to do is just go through that script with me that we talked about yesterday on circle prospecting. What do you say?
Okay. You want to just role play it?
Hello?
Hi, this is Ben Kinney.
Yeah.
Hi, Ben. My name's Tim with the Heil Group at Keller Williams Realty here in Austin. Hey, Ben, you may have seen our newsletter come in the mail, Live Westlake Hills, and yet the reason I'm calling is because we also send out a video market update to a lot of your neighbors in the area, just letting them know what the average days on market is and the average sales price, things like that. And the reason for my call today is it's my job to find out who else in the neighborhood wants to receive that on a monthly basis. Is that something you'd like to receive also?
My neighbors are getting it?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Well, if my neighbors are getting it, I'll get it.
Okay, great. Well, it's my goal to keep you as informed as possible, so if you ever have any real estate questions, you can always just reach back out to us. So what's a good email I can send that to, Ben?
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. So I'll make sure that you get the next one as it goes out. Hey, Ben, just out of curiosity, how long have you lived in the neighborhood anyway?
I've been there about 6 years.
6 years, man. How did you happen to pick the Westlake area?
It was something I could afford.
Oh, something you could afford. Where'd you move from?
Rolling Rock. Rolling
Rock. Okay.
Round Rock.
Round Rock. There you go.
Rolling Rock is the beer I was drinking before you called me. Round Rock is where I moved from.
Gotcha. Well, Ben, let me ask you: if you were to make a move, where would you go next?
I'd probably move to a nicer neighborhood of Austin if I could. Maybe something by the water.
By the water. And when would that be?
I don't know, Bubs. It just depends.
Okay. Well, hey, Ben, we're getting a ton of phone calls, a ton of email requests from buyers that are finding our newsletter in the mail, and they're really just contacting us because they know we're the local market expert here in Westlake, and they're wanting to find out if we know about any properties that aren't on the market yet because, inventory right now in our neighborhood is super low. So another goal I have here on this call is to just see if you know anybody, any friends or family, people from church, work, school, that might be thinking about putting their home on the market. Maybe we could save them from having to hire a real estate agent and help connect them with some of our buyers. Is there anybody you know about right now?
Anybody that might want to sell?
Yeah.
You mean? Well, I tell you what, one thing, I don't like my neighbor. If you could get him to sell, that would make my life better.
Excellent. Is that the one on the left? Is that 115 or 119?
119, yeah, he's a real
119.
jerk.
Okay. Great.
Tim,
Great.
Well, that's a cool script. I mean, you're calling, it's warm. Basically, what you're trying to do is capture an email address so you could drip on them, right?
Mm-hmm. It's the first
and then once you get that, then you move to the next thing. Hey, are you thinking about selling? And then and the last thing you do is, who else do you know that's thinking about selling?
Right.
That's
so
all.
you really have three goals for the call.
Everybody on this call is going to get this webinar emailed out to them, so you guys will have all these scripts. You love it? If you love it, type it in there. Type it in now. Killing me. Tim, you're awesome.
Cool.
I got a bunch of people typing in questions here to the box. I want you guys to understand something. Brivity is for your database, your buyer pendings, your listings, that sort of stuff. It's not your buyer tool. That's what you use eEdge for, or Boomtown or one of those systems, because they have access to the MLS that'll send out listings to each one of your clients. Brivity does the other side of the equation. So Tim, you're using Boomtown.
Yeah, we're using Boomtown. Ben, are you doing a free demo? Can people just sign up and just check it out so they understand how it works?
Yeah, they're just got to type into the chat box when they want to do it, and Emily will get them all hooked up. Hey,
That's what we did. I didn't really quite understand all it did, so I mean, you just let us sign up and just start trying it. It's amazing. We put like within 2 days, we got all of our clients in there. But yeah, it's a deal. It's for your clients. It's for your clients and your past clients. It's for people that you're already in relationship with, not a not
right.
necessarily lead management tool for buyers.
Hey, Tim, you do some other stuff to get business. You do farming, you do print, you do home valuations. You get some buyer business coming in, and you know how to rock and build a team. How'd you pick what area do you farm first?
So we farm a part of, it's called Westlake Hills. It's 16,000 homes. It's 2 zip codes, and it's right where our office is. Our market center is in one of the zip codes, so it's very close. And the average price point is about $1 million. So it's a high average price point as well.
So you're farming 16,000 homes,
Hmm.
and if I know you right, you're using Every Door Direct or something like that to get your mailing cost down to a cheap price.
Right. We're using Every Door
And,
Direct.
yeah, your cost to the door, I think you and I talked about it. You're like 26, 27 cents per piece to the door.
Yeah, something like that.
What I
It,
like about you, Tim, is you're such a great implementer. One of the best implementers I've ever seen in the industry. And, you know, Sue Adler is too. I mean, she implements technology like nobody I've ever seen. You implement these systems, just blows me away. I sent you my vendor advertising program, and you went out and you just took it to a great level. How much money a month are you bringing in from vendors to help pay for your marketing, your websites, your mail, all the stuff that you're doing?
we're bringing in roughly $9,000 a month, so about
Not
100 grand a year, a little over.
$9,000 a month that's coming in to pay for your pay-per-click, your farming newsletters, your city guide, all those other tools. So the net cost to you is zero.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the thing is I didn't realize what was possible until you told me how much you were bringing in from it, and so I immediately went back to the team and said, if Ben can bring in that amount, we can bring in at least half, and we got up there immediately to about 100 grand a year, and that covers, yeah, it covers our direct mail, it covers a lot of our pay-per-click, it definitely covers our websites, so yeah, it's awesome.
So the different things, now we're all RESPA compliant. So what RESPA says is that you have to be careful where you're getting your money from. If it's somebody that's involved in the transaction, the inspector or the title company or escrow, you got to be careful. You got to follow your local, state, and national RESPA related rules and whatever your office and broker says. But Tim, where do vendors, the painters and the artists and the restaurants and everybody else in town, where do they get access to your clients from? What are they paying to be a part of?
So they're going to be, if they pay enough, they're going to be on the back of our newsletter that goes out to 16,000 million-dollar houses. They're definitely going to be on our Live Westlake Hills website. So Live Westlake Hills, it's livewestlakehills.com, and basically that's our farm site that's going to have information about local restaurants, local anybody, local pool companies, anything. So they're going to be on there. They're going to be in something that we give to every single client we close. So I mean, we're closing roughly a house a day. So every single day we're going to be sending their name out to a new homeowner. They're going to be on. They're going to be given to our listing clients. I mean, we basically, Ben, with your template, we basically found out about 1,000 ways we can show them we're going to be pushing their name out to people who might be interested in working with them.
Here's the thing, guys, on the call, if you're listening, hello, if you guys are listening to what I'm saying, I got Sue Adler on the phone, makes $2.5–3 million a year. I got Tim, did $1.5 million last year, and he'll do way more than that this year. And we got me, right? We did $3-something million last, 3.4 million, and we'll do more this year. We all use the same things. We all use the same websites. They all have city guides. We all use seller sites. We all use, an IDX provider. We all use the same scripts. Most of us use the same listing presentation. I mean, we're all copying other smart people. I got this idea of this, farming thing from Kenny Kloss and his CLME designation. It's CLME.com. It's a pretty cool tool. But these city guides, guys, if you want a city guide, you got to go to reallaunch.com. A city guide will set you up with a website that has every restaurant, every gallery, every museum, every type of restaurant, all the jobs that are available. They can book hotels, they can book cars, they can search for anything. They can check out real estate stuff. It links to your valuation sites. It brings to your IDX. It does all that stuff for you, and it's automatically set up. And then Tim goes out and gets advertising of restaurants and local people to advertise on it. So how much does your city guide cost you a month, Tim?
Ben, I don't even know. Nothing, because of everything we're getting. I mean, it's being paid for.
So you do some mail marketing, and what I like about your mail marketing is you match the mail piece directly to your city guide. So
yep.
on the
so
on
that's
the
the whole
screen
point.
right now. Go ahead.
Okay, so every page of our newsletter at the bottom says www.livewestlakeHills.com, and then the newsletter is branded Live Westlake Hills. And then when we're calling them on the phones and we're talking to thousands and thousands of people in our farm every month, we're saying, you may have received our newsletter Live Westlake Hills, you know, and we're moving on. So everything is all about Live Westlake Hills, Live Westlake Hills, Live Westlake Hills. And so we're wanting them to go to livewestlakehills.com, and these vendors who are on the back of the newsletter right there are basically supporting it. It's a no-brainer. I mean, this was a package that we got set up all at once with Real Launch. I mean, we got the newsletter going, we got the city guide going, we got the home valuation tool going, all of it going in like 1 week all together. I went from having no marketing to having, you know, all of this going in basically 1 week. It was amazing.
Yeah, and you actually have a guy that would put together this newsletter for people if they wanted, right?
Yeah, Christian Daigle, and if anybody types in the chat right now, if somebody wants to talk to this guy who creates this newsletter, you know, he'd be happy to reach out to you guys. Just type in your email in the chat.
I would say if anybody does a demo of our city guides, type in if you want a city guide demo. We'll hook you up with a guy to make this newsletter for you, and we'll get you connected to the vendor advertising. Let's Sue, are you still there? Can you hear us?
Yep, I hear you. I just unmuted myself. Yes.
Sue, I want to ask you, what'd you learn from Tim today?
What did I learn from Tim? Well, I took a lot of notes here. Your vendor. I want to learn more about your vendor advertising program. And I like when you said it's not a day worked unless you have those 5 new nurtures. I like that.
That's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, very powerful.
Sue, I was talking to Tim yesterday, and Tim, you would call from 9 in the morning till 11 or 12 in the morning when you got started. And if you didn't have a listing appointment, what'd you do the rest of the day?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Is when I got started, it wasn't like that. That was once I had a lot of business going. When I first got started, it was literally generating leads. It took me most of the day just to get my 5 nurtures, my 30 contacts, because I was sucked on the phones. So, you know, I was on the phone probably until about 5 or 6. You know, I would basically go 8 to 11 generating new leads. Then I would spend about 11 to 12 or 11 to 1 doing lead follow-up and sending out note cards, things like that. And then I would spend the afternoon generating more leads because I still didn't have my 5 nurtures a day. And even if I did have my 5 nurtures a day, I had no clients, so I knew I needed a lot more. So some days I would get 10 nurtures or 15 nurtures, whatever I could do to just kind of speed up the process because I didn't have any clients. So once I started getting clients, then I would go do real estate in the afternoons.
Tim, what'd you learn from Sue?
So the number one thing I learned from Sue is how connected she is in the community and with her database. You know, right now, for us to have past client events, to have a pizza party night, or to be in a local restaurant, to have a sandwich named after our team or our website, that's just unbelievable. It makes me realize how unconnected I am with my sphere and with my database, and that, you know, if you want to be doing 100 million, if you want to be doing the big bucks, you got to be working that repeat and referral business and getting your name out there to them. So I'm going to go back and figure out how we can go get client parties going and get connected.
I mean, the thing is, Tim, is that Sue has a much better personality than you.
I know.
It's the unfortunate thing is that Tim and I are alike. Like, we're like the number spreadsheets, the geeks, you know. We like, you know, Tim and I went shooting yesterday. I mean, we're hillbillies. Sue is classy. People like her. I mean, she's social. I mean, she's made for this. We should have Sue teach us all how to work.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. You're so funny.
Yeah. So, what advice, Sue, would you give these people in the audience?
Oh, about connecting? I mean,
About anything. About anything. Just overall, what would you tell these people?
well, I mean, first of all, it's back to what Tim was saying earlier. I mean, I never got off the phone. I still don't get off the phone until I have a listing appointment every single day. I just don't hang up till I do that. The buyer agents, they have to have a buyer appointment set every single day. And if you have a new appointment set every single day, you're going to have a successful business. So it's
I,
it's just
I see
real.
people all the time, Sue. They come in and they do their lead gen for 2 hours, and they have nothing going on in the afternoon. So they go have a big lunch. They go home. They take a nap. They go to the gym. They do all these things, and then they wonder why they don't have the life they want to live. Why
Hmm.
why why they aren't taking care of their family. Why they make all these excuses. Just
Yeah.
freaking
And then the other
show up
thing is,
and get your appointment.
yeah, and the other thing is it's all in the follow up. I mean, they always, one of the things that really rings true is that one of the consumers that here at Direct said, if we're not top of mind for you, you're not top of mind for us. So if you're putting a buyer on automatic emails, just make sure that you are following up because they think we're lazy.
Mm.
So much of it is that really active listening and active follow up and really engaging our clients because I think we have to unlearn in our industry right now so much of the automation. The automation is great, but it's not a replacement for the connection. And I think that's where our industry really needs to take a step back and look at how we're relating to the consumer. Um,
Hmm.
that's that's all what I would like
I,
to take away today.
I agree. Uh, what I like about Tim and Sue, and they also have a coach, and they get coached, and they've always been
Hmm.
coached, and they mastermind. We'll all be in the same city next week, masterminding and putting our heads together because that's the way they are. So if you're on this call today, maybe one of the first steps you need to do is you need to get a coach. If you're afraid of making the phone calls and just jumping on and doing that stuff, then you need to go to Bold or power prospecting. You need to get out there and get over this fear because right now you're stealing from your family. You're not providing for them. You're stealing from your dreams and everything else. You need to just rip off everybody else's systems. Feel free to take mine, and then show up and do the work with the coach. Tim, what would be the one thing you tell all these people?
Just be real with yourself. Don't allow excuses for yourself for why you didn't get your 5 nurtures a day or whatever it is that you define as the thing that you're going to do to move your to build your pipeline and move your business to the next level. Make sure you're doing it on a daily basis and don't allow your excuses for yourself on why you're not making it happen.
I get it. Sue, do you know Dan Stewart?
I knew the name Dan. Yes, I know. I think I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, he's the guy that created Happy Grasshopper.
Oh yes, I know who. Yes, I do know who he is.
Do your team use Happy Grasshopper?
No, we do not.
Okay, we've been using Happy Grasshopper for the last couple years, and they have some new products, including things that help you convert leads and some things that help you recruit. But it's one of the best things we've ever implemented for working our sphere. It's kind of a set up and walk away thing. If you guys want to check out a tool just to get your sphere going, go to happygrasshopper.com and talk to those guys. They've created a really cool, easy way to stay in touch with people that's not salesy and not real estate related. I got my team leaders are all making calls and hustling today. See, my team leaders, the people that run my offices, they have the same goal. They got to get an appointment every day. And actually, our goal is 2 appointments every day for every one of our team leaders. And one of my team leaders, Andy, just said that I should say hi to a special friend of his in Florida. So, Leslie, how are you doing? If you guys want to check out Happy Grasshopper, go to happygrasshopper.com/Ben because he'll give you a better deal. I don't get any paid from it. I get no money from Dan. Dan, if you're on the call, give me some money. Just kidding. If you guys want to check out Brivity, you guys have got all the information on the demos. Emily's on there. Type in your questions. I heard about a new product that's launching, and Sue and Tim, you guys should check this out. It's pro.com. Pro.com. It's ridiculous. I want everybody on this call to go to pro.com, create a profile, check it out. It's insane. Pro.com allows you to have a vendor in your area go out and do the simple projects in your house, like changing a ceiling fan or replacing a deck or fixing a doorknob, or from small to big projects. And I just heard about this. The guy that created, or was the CEO of Dig.com made it and just came out. Pro.com. It's pretty cool, and he's a great guy as well. If you guys want any of the real launch products or to get demos, city guides, valuation sites, seller sites, go there and check it out. Our next call is going to be called Team Up or Shut Up. It's going to be in 2 weeks at 9 a.m. the same time, and we're going to talk about how to build, manage, and develop a team from scratch. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to do an announcement about valuation sites to the next level. So if you already have a valuation site, we will upgrade you to the new version. If you don't, you're going to see something crazy. And I'm launching a secret project. It's called Blossor, BLOSSOR.com. If you go to Blossor.com as an agent, you can sign up and tell us what area you work. Blossor is going to change the way things are done in real estate. I promise you. Go in there, get on the waiting list. It'll freak you out. It's done stuff nobody's ever done before.
Blossor. I didn't know you were announcing Blossor.
We're getting close. Sue's been one of our partners in this from the beginning. We have over $1.2 million invested in Blossor. Literally. Go to Blossor.com if you're an agent, and just let us know what area you're from and fill out your profile real quick. It'll blow you away. Sue and Tim, thank you guys for being on the call. You guys are some of the coolest people I've ever had the honor to meet. I'm excited to mastermind with you guys in Texas next week and spend some time with you guys. It's going to be awesome. Last parting thoughts for this awesome audience, Sue?
Oh, boy. This was fun. I can't hear any of you, but I hear you wildly excited, and just go implement and have a great year. And Ben, you are awesome. Tim, you are awesome. It was fun.
Tim, what do you got to say?
Yeah, I appreciate you having us on the call, Ben. Good doing it. Oh, if anybody wants to learn about ISAs, come check out our Leverage Lead Gen course. We're about to launch another class starting in.
Hey, how do they find that?
I'm going to be the first to sign up.
Is that at mapscoaching.com or maps?
Yeah, mapscoaching.com/LLG or Leverage Lead Gen, or just look for it's called Leverage Lead Generation.
So if you want to train an ISA or learn how to make calls.
Yeah, and also just to build that out. So knowing who to hire, how to hire them and how to train them, and just the whole process of building that little division of your business to generate business via prospecting.
Awesome. Hey, you guys, it was fun today. Everybody on the call, thank you for the thousands of agents across the nation and also in Canada. We love you Canadians. You guys are awesome too. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.
Thanks, Ben.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.